So before this video starts, I want to give a quick shout out to Jake, actually. If you guys don't know, Jake goes to college, so during the school year, he can't record videos with me, and because of that, he decided to make his own YouTube channel, his own Beyblade channel, and he calls it Dragon Blader, which I remember when he first started calling himself Dragon Blader, I thought it was like some funny joke, but now he like actually goes by it, which is pretty funny. Anyway, I'll have his link in the description. You guys should really check him out. Again, Jake's been like a massive help to me in the channel, and he's just honestly just like a really genuine nice guy, so you guys should go subscribe to him. I really don't need to tell you this, you guys already know this stuff. So yeah, he's made his own channel. Go check him out, link in the description. Maybe his channel will be even better than my channel. Maybe he'll get even more subs. That'd be pretty cool actually if Jake got more subs than me. We would have like a competition. It'd be great. Anyway, so yeah, go check out his channel, go subscribe to him. Maybe one day he'll have more subs than me and I'll cry myself to sleep or something. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Enjoy the video about the worst Beyblades from every Beyblade Burst series. Now, there have been a lot of bad Beyblade releases over the years. For instance, the Ragnarok line is notorious for always having horrible burst resistance, and even in the anime, it seems to lose every single battle it's in. But is Ragnarok actually the worst? That's what we're going to be finding out today, as we're talking about the worst Beyblade from every series. Also, before we start, I just want to clarify that we're going to be talking about the Takara Tomy stock combo Beyblades. That just means the Japanese Beyblades with the combos that come out of the box. And also, this video is very opinionated, so if you disagree with me, tell me in the comment section below, but try not to be too mean because it really hurts my feelings. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's begin with the original Beyblade Burst series, the single layers. Okay, well, there's really no good way to put this, but I think that the worst single layer Beyblade is Horror Suit. Now, before you click off this video, because I said Cheeto's the worst, let me explain myself. We're talking about the Takara Tomy version of Horror Suit, not the Hasbro one. Cheeto is the Hasbro version of Horror Suit. So the American version of Horror Suit is like the best Beyblade ever, but the Japanese one sucks. You see, the reason why Cheeto is so good is because it stains other Beyblades with its orange paint, but as you see, the Japanese version has a clear layer around it. You know, Takara Tomy is really good at balancing Beyblades, and I guess while they were testing Horror Suit, they realized it was just too good, so they had to nerf it with a clear ring. But I guess Hasbro didn't care, so that's how we ended up with the best Beyblade in existence, and this is getting really dumb. I'm sorry, I'm sure you guys don't care. Okay, but the reason why Horror Suit is so bad is because the layer isn't very round at all for a stamina type, and it has fairly bad burst resistance. Mix that with the horrible edge driver that comes on Horror Suit, it's just not really a great combination. The edge driver is extremely linear. It tends to get off balance very easily and scrape quite a lot. So yeah, that's why the Japanese version of Horror Suit stinks. Let's move on to the dual layers now. To be honest, I didn't really know which dual layer was the worst. I had a few in mind, so I went to my community tab and I asked you guys, and the results were pretty surprising. 70% of you guys voted that Holy Horror Suit was the worst dual layer, and dang, Horror Suit is getting like trashed on this video. I feel so bad for Horror Suit. Now, I never viewed Holy Horror Suit as a good dual layer, but I never viewed it as the worst dual layer ever. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, and yeah, it's really not that great. I feel as if it suffers from the same thing that single layer Horror Suit suffered from, granted from a lesser degree. The layer is very jagged for a stamina type and has fairly bad burst resistance. The upper disc is below average in weight, and the claw driver, although not nearly as bad as the edge driver, still has some problems with scraping. So overall, not a horrible Beyblade, but I guess compared to all the other dual layers, this one is probably the worst. I feel as if the dual layer series was the most balanced out of all the Beyblade Burst series. There's never, at least stock combo wise, there's never a stock combo that dominated all the rest, and there was never a stock combo that just lost to everything. Next up, we have the God layers. Now, the one I chose is a little interesting as well because it was actually banned from WBO tournaments. Yes, the worst God layer, in my opinion, is Maximum Garuda. Now, you might be wondering, Noah, how is a Beyblade that got banned from tournaments because of how broken it was, the worst god layer. And there's actually a very easy explanation for that. So as most of you guys know, all god layers have this thing called a god chip in the center of their layer, and for some reason Takara Tomy thought it would be a good idea to make different molds for these god chips. And also for some reason, again, there were certain molds that when used on Maximum Garuda basically made the Beyblade unburstable, which is crazy because the whole gimmick to Maximum Garuda is that it was a giant Beyblade with amazing stamina but an extremely weak locking mechanism. So when you take away its only weakness, it just becomes a massively overpowered Beyblade. But of course we're talking about stock combos in this video, so it doesn't come with this custom god chip. And to put it short, the stock combo stinks. Without the custom god chip, it just bursts all the time. I guess the parts aren't horrible, but you're never going to win if you burst in like the first 5 seconds of battle, you know what I mean? So although Maximum Garuda with the custom combo is amazing, its stock combo is utter trash. Moving on to the Chosey Layers. Now this one was very easy. The worst Chosey layer is definitely Orb Aegis. Now most of Orb Aegis's parts aren't bad at all. The layer actually has amazing burst resistance and a very round design, and the disc outer has fantastic weight distribution, making it the best stamina disc in the game when the Beyblade was originally released. However, there's always a problem, and in this case it comes in its driver. This Beyblade comes with what I believe to be the worst driver in all of Beyblade Burst. Not even a good layer or a good disc could save it. This driver is, of course, the Quest driver. Now, the problem with the Quest driver is that it has amazing defense, but it's like terrible at everything else. To put in perspective, if a Beyblade was in an RPG and each Beyblade had like 100 skill points, a normal Beyblade would invest their skill points somewhat evenly to minimize their weaknesses, I guess, but the Quest driver is like no ordinary Beyblade part. It would invest all of its skill points into one stat, and that stat is defense. It suction cup to the stadium, which gives it amazing defense again, but because it's suction cup to the stadium, it doesn't move, so it has like 0 attack power, and also because it's suction cup to the stadium, it's constantly losing stamina, which gives it horrible stamina as well. I mean, having amazing defense is great, but there's a problem when an attack type, which is meant to have really bad stamina, doesn't even need to hit you because it can outspin you because your stamina is just that bad. I'm getting really heated, but you just know that the Quest driver stinks and it basically ruins every combo it's on. But I will give it this. It does look cool to watch, I guess. The Quest driver is very unique and it's very fun to watch, but it's absolutely terrible. Okay, enough ranting about the Quest driver. Next up, we have the GT layer system. Now, the worst GT layer, in my opinion, definitely has to be Bushin Ashura. This guy, well, first off, he's green, and that's like Kirby's thing, so like, I already don't like him. But besides that, I would say almost everything about this Beyblade just stinks. The layer has very bad burst resistance. The disc, although I will say it does have a very cool free spinning gimmick, is extremely light, and it doesn't even make contact with other Beyblades, making the free spinning gimmick basically useless. And finally, the driver Keep. Although it's not as bad as the Quest driver, I feel as if it suffers from the same problem as the Quest driver. It has very good defense, but at the cost of stamina. And on other Beyblade combos, this wouldn't be that bad, but combined with Bushin Ashura's other horrible parts, just makes this Beyblade not very good at all. So that's why I think it's probably the worst GT layer system Beyblade. If it wasn't Bushin Ashura, I'd probably say Heaven Pegasus or something, because Heaven Pegasus just has really bad burst resistance. Finally, moving on to the last Beyblade burst system, we have the Super King layers. Now, of course, Super King is still ongoing, and at the moment, the latest Super King Beyblade to be released was Tempest Dragon, but I'm sure by the time this video releases, World Spriggan would have released as well, and oh my gosh, World Spriggan is so hype. It's definitely not going to be the worst Beyblade out there, so I don't even know why I'm talking about that right now. Anyway, so yeah, we don't have every Beyblade released yet, but I will comment on which which one I think is the worst out of the Takara Tomy releases so far. The worst Super King Beyblade, in my opinion, definitely has to be Glide Ragnarok, Curse Satan, or one of the Diablos. I'm gonna give the Diablos a pass because I like Diablos. I'm very biased, so it's either Ragnarok or Curse Satan. I think I'll go with Glide Ragnarok, just because Curse Satan, although it has horrible stamina, the Universe Driver has horrendous stamina, it does amazing against left spin Beyblades because it has really good life after death. So yeah, the reason why Glide Ragnarok is so bad is solely because of its horrible burst resistance. The 1S chassis just doesn't have very good teeth, and it causes the Beyblade to burst very often. If the Beyblade even had decent burst resistance, I would say Glide Ragnarok would probably be one of the best Super King Beyblades, just because the wheel disc has amazing stamina, and the Revolve driver, although it's not the best, it isn't the worst driver at all. I think the reason why Glide Ragnarok's bad is, again, solely just because it bursts so often. So those are what I believe to be the worst stock combo Beyblades from each Beyblade Burst series. If you guys disagree with this list, just tell me what Beyblades I should have included in the comment section below. But besides that, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and we might do more discussion videos like this in the future. Alright, well yeah, see you guys later. Have a nice day. LeftBurst out.